guys, welcome to Boxing Tribe UK. This is going to be the first episode, you could say, first episode of a podcast / views. I don't know what it's going to be yet. Maybe I want to get more people involved and to create more of a podcast kind of vibe. So if anyone's interested in making a podcast, get a few lads together, talk boxing once a week. Let's do it, DM me on Twitter if you follow my boxing page, Boxing Tribe UK on Twitter. DM me, let me know, maybe we can set something up, get something going. So basically I'm just going to give you my views on the events that take place during the week, the breaking news, so on, yourself, the hot topics in boxing. So as I said before, if you are interested in making a podcast or just simply having a discussion and recording it and uploading it, let's do it. So let's do it. Let's get into the big events last week. We all know what happened. I'm going just to talk about the main event. We know the undercard was really good as well. You had Taylor and Pursoon, a controversial fight, but I will talk more of that later on in the week. I just want to get into the Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz Jr. fight and the rumours that are flying around on Monday morning. You're going to get all these sort of rumours. What was wrong with Joshua? I'm hearing one rumour he had an eye injury, the other rumour he was sick coming into the fight, the other rumour that he didn't want to have this fight and he wasn't motivated. That's the rumours that are flying around, but people are trying to take that credit away from Andy Ruiz Jr. Andy Ruiz Jr. didn't knock out, but stopped Anthony Joshua, put him down 4 times, had Anthony Joshua rattled. So we have to give credit where credit's due, and that's credit is all due to Andy Ruiz Jr. And we have to give a bit of credit to former unified world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. The way he took the defeat was spectacular. He took it like a man. Not many boxers would do that. He was very calm, collective in the ring when he lost, but you could see that he was so upset inside, and you could see he just wanted to break down. He didn't know really what was going on. There's a few kind of topics I want to discuss, and there's a few things I just want to get out there, and we're just gonna start firstly off on the fight, and you just the start of the week where you could feel there was going to be something there. It was going to be a fight, and it wasn't going to be a walkover, and I could sense that. Not many people have watched Andy Ruiz Jr. fight, and he has over 30 plus professional fights and only one loss. And that one loss came to Joseph Parker when Parker was the WBO World Heavyweight Champion. And a lot of people say that Andy Ruiz won that fight, and the only reason he didn't get the result because it was in New Zealand, and it's very hard to beat a world champion on points if it's a close fight in their backyard, and I think Andy Ruiz should have took that fight and he should have been WBO world champion. But how bad? Now he's a unified world champion. Now he has the WBO belt, but he could have been an unbeaten one. So a lot of people sleeping on Andy Ruiz Jr. If Andy Ruiz fought Wilder or Tyson Fury, that's not easy fights for those pair, That's not an easy fight. Andy Ruiz Jr. is a top contender and one of the best heavyweights right now, and you have to say that he's a unified world champion. Is Deontay Wilder a unified world champion? No, he's only held one belt all along, and he only has fought really one big fighter, and when he fought that fight, he lost basically. He shouldn't have got the result. I think it was down to corruption on both sides of Wilder's camp and the WBC, and we still see that to the day with Dylan White's situation. There is something involved in that, and what made me think more how big corruption is still in American boxing is when Adam Book came out yesterday in an interview with IFL TV. He told not me I wish I was working for IFL TV. Coogan, if you're listening, highly doubtly, but give me a job, man. Only messing. But yeah, back to boxing. Adam Boot came out. He said that there was a lot of things, suspicious things going on during fight day. I'd love to know what those suspicious things were. Coogan tried to get it out of him, but Adam Boot wouldn't say. Really interesting. So you just don't know what goes on in American boxing is suffering still badly with corruption, and it's true. It is true. Like, you know, we've seen that many a times in boxers in America getting absolutely robbed, and you don't really see that in the UK. You don't really see it anywhere. Well, you see it Eastern Europe. Yeah, you do kind of see it too, you know. But a lot of it goes on in America. Anyway, back to the fight. Andy Ruiz Jr., he's world champion, but there's a few things I want to take on board to people to just let them know. Coming into the fight, Joshua walked out. The ring walk didn't seem like an Anthony Joshua ring walk, you know. Things just seemed different. I don't know what it was. Was he motivated for the fight? You know, during the week he was all smiles and there was no really look in his face that he was ready to go out there and put on a big performance. There was no really look in his face that he was really motivated for this fight. He was just smiling and laughing and having a good time. It seemed like he was enjoying it, but at the same time it didn't seem that he was really up for this fight, you know. And that could have been down to Miller pulling out, you know, and he could have been taking Ruiz too lightly. He could have been down to a thing in his head that he was thinking that he was going to knock Ruiz out in the first round, and that was it. You know, he go home and he get a lot of stick still that he's fighting bad opponents, etc., so on, you know. But he hasn't, and you know, he's going home with no belts, and he fought a great opponent, and Ruiz Jr. deserves a lot of credit. That big knockout, you know, you could see even from the first bell that the height was bothering Joshua. You know, Joshua wasn't really able to land any punches, and when he did land the big right hand that put Ruiz Jr. on his arse, he got careless, and Ruiz Jr. took advantage of it and finished Joshua off. I think the first time Joshua went down, it was like a shot to the temple, and I just think after that he never recovered and he wasn't feeling right. And he did say that to Rob McCracken going back, I think it was in the 5th round, when he was on his stool. He was saying, what's wrong with me? Why am I feeling like this? And that's not good. Like, I'd love to know what it was. As I said again, there was a few rumours going around today that AJ was ill. He had an infection in his eye, but you can't believe those things. Can't believe those things at all, you know. What's next for AJ? What's next for AJ is, should he look at having a new coach? I think Rob McCracken has taken Anthony Joshua and turned him into like a Tyson Fury kind of style, trying to get him to box, but obviously not like a Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury's boxing is so much better, and probably no one in the world has better boxing than Tyson Fury, in my opinion. But I think he wanted Joshua to be more of a boxer than a brawler, and I think that doesn't suit Anthony Joshua. You've seen in the Charles Martin fight, Joshua came in, let his hands go, you know, just stood up, landed the big shots, stepped back, went again. Whereas now he's landing the big shots, he's connecting, and then he's working in the inside, and he's trying to put a few combinations together, and that's not Joshua. And when he does that, he gets in trouble. And I think Joshua needs to go back to the drawing board. And let's not forget, Joshua's won the world title at a very young age, and he still has a lot to learn. But I think Rob McCracken shouldn't have tried to change Anthony Joshua's style, and that all changed after the Klitschko's fight. Because they got worried, they seen Joshua getting dropped, and they're like, oh, we need to change this, we need to get Joshua more defensively of a fighter. But that's not Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua won't be a good fighter if he's like that. We need to see the Anthony Joshua that fought the Klitschko's, the Klitschko, Vladimir, Charles Martin, Dylan White. We need to see that Anthony Joshua. We need to bring that Anthony Joshua back, and not the new Anthony Joshua, which I think is more of a defensive fighter, more of a cagey fighter, and that's not good. Now that could be totally out of context and I could have it all wrong, but I think that's one thing he needs to address and go back to the old ways. He needs to be more of a brawler than a boxer for me, like a Deontay Wilder. But Joshua has more of a boxing mindset than Deontay Wilder, whereas Wilder's just a pure out and out brawler and probably the best shot in heavyweight boxing at the moment. Another thing you have to think, has Joshua is only fighting 2 times a year now, and he's still a young fighter. He's still kind of learning in the game. So a fighter like Anthony Joshua should be fighting at least 3-4 times a year at his age. He should be. He shouldn't be fighting twice a year. And does that suit him? I don't think it is. And I think he needs to be fighting more than 2 times a year. And is that down to Eddie Hearn? Is Eddie Hearn to blame for this as well? You know, should Eddie Hearn be having him fighting more mandatories, more? Even though if it doesn't make big money, just keep him active and then make the big money in the big fights against the big boys, you know, the big names. Yeah, basically that's it, you know, and I just want to put it out there as well. People that are giving Anthony Joshua a stick, you know, how can you, like, you know, he's represented our sport so well. He's a class act. He's humble in defeat. He's a professional in defeat. You know, he takes it so well. And it's another thing I want to touch on. A loss for Anthony Joshua right now could be the best thing that has happened to him, because when he goes, or if he goes and fights Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, there's that less pressure on him now than there would be with Wilder and Fury. Now Wilder and Fury are going to feel the pressure if they're still unbeaten going into an Anthony Joshua fight, simply because they have that 0 on the record. Whereas Anthony Joshua has lost. He knows what it's like to have lost. He knows what it's like to be knocked down and get back up and fight on. He's came through that in the Klitschko fight, and now he's learned that on Saturday that he needs to up his game, and I think it's a brilliant thing for Anthony Joshua. I really do. I think having that loss on his record now will turn him into a vicious, angry heavyweight. He needs to bring back that anger that we seen when he fought Brazil, that anger when we seen him fight Dylan White, that anger when we seen him fight Charles Martin. That's what we need to see. We don't see that anymore. Now he's like a calm, generous, sweet heavyweight. You know, that's what we are seeing, and he needs to be turned into a devil in the heavyweight boxing scene. You know, he needs to be more vicious, and he needs to be more ruthless, and he needs to change his mentality. And I think he needs to be more of a ruthless figure, like a Deontay Wilder figure, you know. I think that's what AJ needs to do. He needs to change and go back to the old way, the old AJ. I want to see the old AJ. And I think if we do see the old AJ come back, he can beat Wilder, he can beat Fury, he still can beat all those fighters, but he needs to change and go back to his old ways. I don't want to see him like the Anthony Joshua we've seen the last 2-3 fights, you know, against Takem, Ruiz, and Perfect and Parker as well, you know. I want to see him, the fighter that we've seen against Dylan White. Even though he still got caught, he came back and he was vicious and he knocked Dylan White out. Same with Charles Martin, he sparked him out. Same with Klitschko, he got knocked down, he got back up, and he was talking to Klitschko and he was saying, I'm going to get you, you know. And he did. And we don't see that anymore. And let's give credit to AJ, but let's not give too much credit, because he has lost, and a fighter like AJ shouldn't lose to a fighter like Andy Ruiz. But as I say a fighter like Andy Ruiz, but Andy Ruiz has only lost 1 fight, so maybe we're all sleeping on Andy Ruiz Jr. And I'm so happy for him, I really am, you know. He's a sweet guy, a nice guy, he's a good guy, a good family man, and now his life has changed forever, and I'm so happy seeing that, you know. It's great to see, and fair play to Andy Ruiz. Basically that's it. Yeah, that's my view of the week. I'm only covering 1 fight, I know, and one thing, because it's a hot topic this week, so it's going to be a hot topic this week. So sorry if I bored you throughout this 15 minutes, but this is my first podcast. Maybe I'll get better, my voice will get better, don't worry. I'll buy a few equipment and make it better, and have a few more hot topics to talk about and stuff. But I just wanted to address that anyway, and if you want to listen, I really do appreciate it, folks, and thanks for following me on Twitter also, you know. It's really humbling to have over 3,000 followers and you all interact, and it's so good, you know. I love doing this as a hobby, so I will improve, don't worry. It's like when I started off on Twitter first, I was very bad, but I improve, and this is my first kind of go at this podcast kind of thing, so hopefully you will listen and enjoy, and if you don't, you can let me know if you want, and a few things I can get better at. Let me know. And as I said before at the start of the podcast, if you want to get involved and maybe talk boxing with me, I love to do it. I love to do a kind of a podcast with someone and set it up. So DM me on Twitter. Yeah, it's an opportunity, I suppose, for us, you know, for someone that wants to get involved. You know, you never know. It could become a big thing or whatever. Yeah, thanks for listening, folks, and thanks for tuning in. And I will be back next week. I will be uploading this to YouTube from now on as well, so it's going to be on my YouTube page, and I'm going to send a link onto my Twitter page. And make sure you comment on both social media accounts, on the YouTube comment section and in Twitter on my Twitter feed. Thanks a million, folks. Appreciate it.